My name is Bethany Ball, and I'm here to inform you about serial killers. If you were a young girl that noticed a guy, not any ordinary looking guy, but one that looked injured, yet he seemed innocent, struggling to put away his groceries in his car, would you be the one to help him, or would you be the one to just let it let it go and not let it bother you until you get home and then you're like, oh man, I should have helped him? Well, several girls fell for this tactic with this man right here. This is Ted Bundy. He's one of the most well-known serial killers to this day. After analyzing the audience, I realized that everyone wanted to know more about serial killers, and then after hours of research myself, I also learned that there was a lot that I had no idea about. With that being said, serial killers have been portrayed in many ways that should not have been given fame that they should not have been given fame for. But although they shouldn't be given fame for it, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't know about it. So with that, it is important to know what started the trend of serial killing, what it takes to be a serial killer, how many and what types of serial killers there are, and what are the motives for serial killers, and not only that, but who the most famous serial killers are. With there being several things about serial killers that led up to what they are today, I want to first point off the history of serial killers. April Sice, the author of The First Serial Killer Ever Was Actually a Woman, states that the first serial killer was not the stereotypical man that is usually portrayed as the one. It was actually this woman right here. She is Locusta Galt, which that she was a prisoner in ancient Rome, and she poisoned several members of her family just so she could gain power. As crimes aren't ancient anymore, there are several ways to commit crime, which also means that there are more ways to become a serial killer. The most notorious serial killers in history, written by Patty Whittington, agrees that throughout time killings have become more intense. For example, they're not just simple poisonings here and there. These killings nowadays are planned out for several years upon years, and they're killed hundreds or thousands of people at a time. The FBI states that there's no definition of a serial killer that is set in stone, but they are currently working on a direct definition. What they have now is that there must be one or more offenders, two or more murdered victims, and incidents have to happen within a certain period of time, otherwise they're just ruled out as a murder. Throughout history, several things have changed, yet some things have stayed the same, and that is the types of serial killers that exist. You could be within inches, feet, or miles of a serial killer, and that's the scary thing about it. Cindy Visser, a forensic and serial killer expert, says that there are several different types of serial killers: thrill seekers, mission oriented, visionary, controlled or powered, and Black Widow and Angel of Death or Mercy. And the last two that I mentioned are very rare. The types of killers that these people try The types of killers that try to outdo law enforcement are called thrill seekers. They do it just for the thrill. Mission oriented killers are the ones that think they're doing society a favor by killing someone. Visionary killers most of the time have psychological issues that make them do these things. Control killers are the people who, of course, enjoy killing as long as they're in control. The Black Widows and the Angel of Death Mercy are mostly female. The Black Widow is actually only female, and the Angel of Death Mercy are revenge killers. As there are several types of killers, that also means that there are various types of motives. A motive is like you acting upon someone because you're mad at them, like you're going to either act petty towards them or you're just not going to talk to them. And that's just like an everyday version of a motive. These motives are almost exactly the same as what I just mentioned about the different types, but there's only two or three that stand out. One of them being a hedonistic, which means that they are going to kill for the pleasure or the lust or just the rush of killing gives them some kind of feeling. As you now know the basics behind the serial killer, I want to introduce to you the top 10 serial killers. which is brought to you by the richest article of the top 10 most notorious killers. We have number 1 as Jeffrey Dahmer, and he killed, but he didn't only kill, he also raped, and he was a necrophiliac, and he dismembered and ate the bodies of 17 boys and men within a 13-year span. We also have John Wayne Gacy over here, which is known as the Killer Clown, and he killed around 33 men, and this was after being released from parole. Next, we have previously mentioned Ted Bundy, and he killed 30 young women in the United States. And then after that, we have Gary Ridgway, and he killed approximately 71 women within an 8 to 10 year span. Next, we have Ed Gein. He was considered a serial killer not because of how many he killed, but how he killed them. And after Ed Gein, we have Henry Lee Lucas, which is pictured here, and he was known to have killed at least 300 people in a span of 20 years, but confessed to over 600. We have Eileen Wuornos here, and she killed 7 men in her spree. And then we have Richard Trenton Chase, which killed 6 people in 1 month, and he was known as the Vampire of Sacramento. And we have Andre Chikatilo here and Dennis Rader. Andre killed 52 people, and Dennis Rader killed 10. Although it may seem like this is irrelevant in some cases, it is important to remember what it takes to be a serial killer, how many or what types of serial killers there are, and what their motives are different from the types of serial killers, and who the most famous serial killers are and why. As you know now, serial killers can be absolutely anyone, and it doesn't matter how normal they seem, and if that isn't scary enough, you may never know if that person has the motive to kill you next. The next most notorious serial killer could be in the very room as we are right now, because unless they are showing any signs of being a killer, no one will ever know. With this being said, I hope that you use the knowledge on serial killers that I provided for you today, and if you ever need to use these, I hope you do, because it could definitely save your life. Thank you.